Remember back in the day whenever you used to beat a game and that would be the end of it? There was no extra content to be offered and you just have to wait until the next game in that series to play more? Well, that's where the world of DLCs comes into play. Now, DLCs didn't happen until roughly the days of the Xbox 360, PS3, and when video game consoles had the ability to connect to the internet reliably. Nowadays, the gaming industry is flooded with DLCs and pay-to-win strategies, but that's not what I'm focusing on. Today, I'm taking a look at the best DLCs gaming has to offer. So, now for the rules. Only one DLC per gaming series. Only DLCs I've played through can be on this list, and the DLC has to be a complete story element to the game, not just cosmetics or a new character. So as cool as it was seeing all the cameos and guest characters coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, none of them can be on this list. And just as your warning now, some of this content happens after the main game, so this is your one and only spoiler warning.
What's in that book? Spoilers.
This is KrowOfMurderXV's Top 10 DLCs.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off!
I'll be honest, I never thought I would see the day where of all games, Pokemon would get DLC. Sure, we had post-game content in most of the later gen Pokemon games, but this was full-fledged DLC, and we got 2 of them. While the Isle of Armor was pretty good, my pick is going to the Crown Tundra. Now, there are a lot of things holding it back from being any higher on the list, but let's start with the positives. It gave us new Galarian forms of the 3 legendary birds, introduced max raids, which hosted almost every single previous legendary, and the new Reggie Pokemon were pretty cool too. But here's what's holding it back. I wasn't a huge fan of the main legendary that was introduced in this DLC, and the story was a little lackluster. But this was also their first attempt at DLC, so maybe they'll improve. I mean, come on, it's not like they're going to have another company develop them, right? What? What the fuck?
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off!
And now we have the game that just won't go away, Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls series is no stranger to DLCs, and the first DLC from Skyrim is what lands on this list, Dawnguard. We already had the werewolf aspect with the companions, so it was only a matter of time before we were introduced to vampires as well. But not just any vampire. You're introduced to Harkon, a vampire lord who seeks to end the sun with the power of one of the Elder Scrolls. This gets the attention of the Dawnguard, a group of vampire hunters, and you have the choice whether to stop Harkon or join his legion of bloodsuckers. This DLC not only introduces the ability to become a vampire, but some pretty cool weapons and armor as well. Hopefully we'll see a return of vampires whenever Elder Scrolls 6 releases.
One eternity later.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off!
Now, most fighting game DLCs involve either new characters, new stages, or new cosmetics. While Mortal Kombat normally focuses on these, it decided to add an entire new story to the previous main story, Aftermath. This is what I felt like a lot of other fighting games needed with their character rosters. Why were new characters showing up that had absolutely nothing to do with the story? Well, that's where Aftermath comes into play. We're introduced to the DLC characters into the main story of Mortal Kombat 11, like they actually serve a purpose rather than NetherRealm Studios going, okay, you want more characters? Here you go, pay us now, please! The only reason it's so low on the list, well, the story is a little complicated and didn't really serve a purpose, but it was still fun and enjoyable. Though I am kind of curious what the interactions would be if the cameo characters ended up in the main story. Guess we'll settle for the intros.
Sounds like you've got a case of the grumps.
I fucking hate clowns.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off!
The Fallout series is no stranger when it comes to DLCs since the 3rd installment of the series, and New Vegas followed suit with 4 DLCs of its own. Sure, the last one tied up all of the loose ends when it came to the mysteries of the previous courier, but my personal favorite is Dead Money. You're lured into an abandoned bunker that was thought to be owned by the Brotherhood of Steel, when all of a sudden, boom, you're knocked out. You awaken and are told you are to pull the heist of the century, robbing the Sierra Madre. But you're gonna need some help. A mutant with split personality, a human mute who has been experimented on, and a ghoul who is so cool he makes Tony Stark look like a fool. Okay, I'm sorry about that last one. The story is really compelling and it's really fun to sneak around and somewhat start from scratch since you aren't able to use any items from the main story that you've already acquired. I would love to see them implement something like this into Fallout 76 because people still play that, right? Right?
Nope.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off.
Slight disclaimer, I know that Blizzard isn't in the best of circumstances right now, so if you'd rather not hear me talk about a game from Blizzard, go ahead and skip to the next one. Trust me, I understand. Anyway, Diablo 3, in my opinion, is one of the best local co-op games you can play to date. So how do we make this awesome game even better? By adding a fifth act that's not based around hell, but rather the corruption of heaven. The angel Malthael, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, embodies the angel of death and is set to destroy humanity, believing that they could be tainted by demonic corruption. So it's up to you and your party to stop them. Not only did this DLC bring the fifth act to Diablo 3, it also introduced the Crusader class and Adventure Mode, a mode where you can freely explore Sanctuary without being bound to the story. Not exactly open world, but I'll take it. Now, if Blizzard can pull their heads out of their asses, then all of us can look forward to Diablo 4.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off.
Everyone was a little nervous hearing a branch of Rocksteady was going to be taking care of the Batman Arkham prequel. Well, in my opinion, it delivered. Not as great as the other games, but still worthy of the Arkham name. It was also the first Batman game to have an expanding story, Cold, Cold Heart. We're introduced to Mr. Freeze and basically play through his origin story. The new Batsuit looks incredible, and throughout the game we get little nods to previous games that are later in the timeline. Things like, why doesn't Batman have these glue grenades in later games?
Before you ask, the formula we used for your glue grenades was unstable. What was left after Christmas Eve was degraded into dust.
It even borrows elements from the original Mr. Freeze boss fight in Arkham City, which in my opinion is one of the best boss fights out there. Honestly, I kinda wish there was a DLC showing how Batman came across Robin in his training, but I'll take what I can get, and what I can get right now is Gotham Knights coming out soon. Hopefully it's good.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off.
I think this is the first time I've talked about a horror game on these countdowns aside from Five Nights at Freddy's. Outlast is your typical survival horror game that has a compelling story and honestly starts to feel a little like SCP towards the end. You're a news reporter looking to get the big scoop on an asylum that is rumored to be conducting illegal experiments. But how do you find out about this in the first place? Well, that's where Whistleblower comes into play. Whistleblower fills in some missing gaps from the main story, and while you're playing through the DLC, even get to see some events from the original story take place at the same time. Just a fair warning too, if you're looking to play this game, there are some intense scenes of blood, gore, and nudity, so you might want to make sure the kids are away or sleeping before you put this one in.
That's for after you go to bed.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off.
Okay, let's talk about something a little more wholesome. Animal Crossing. Now, there's been a slew of free DLC updates to come out for this game, but I don't think anyone was expecting Happy Home Paradise. Think of it kind of like a home makeover for Animal Crossing. You have a large number of vacation homes that need filled. The neat part, you get to design each home according to the villagers' ideas and theme they want to go with. Now, the only real requirements is that you have to have at least 3 of the items they're requesting. Eventually, you'll have the option to either listen to the villagers' idea or go freestyle and design them however you want. The coolest part about this DLC is all the skills that you learn on the Happy Home Paradise Island, you can bring with you to do on your home island and redesign all of your villagers' homes if you want. Plus, the amount of new household items, wallpapers, floors, and decorations is huge. Just keep in mind though that if you want to change anything for your villagers on your home island, there is a fee. Looks like Tom Nook still has his ways of getting all your bells.
I heard you owe me some money.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off.
Many people were thrown off a bit that Breath of the Wild of all games was going to be receiving extra content. Well, they certainly delivered with the Champion's Ballad. While playing through the main game after you release the 4 divine beasts, a mysterious voice echoes to you stating that if you're up to the challenge, there's a 5th divine beast that you can obtain and command yourself. This DLC introduces new shrine challenges, clothing items, weapons, upgrades to your abilities, and after beating the final shrine, gain access to the Master Cycle Zero. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was gonna be a little weird having a motorcycle in Legend of Zelda of all games, but damn is it not fun. I guess this is where Link got his training when he wanted to participate in Mario Kart 8.
Look, guy, maybe we'll do a DLC or something, alright? But for now, fuck off!
It should be no surprise that something from Borderlands is on this list, and yes, we're going back to Borderlands 2 with Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep. Imagine, if you will, our heroes lounging around after saving the planet and decide to kick back and play a game of bunkers and badasses, essentially Borderlands versions of Dungeons & Dragons. And our favorite little explosions expert is at the helm guiding you on your fantasy adventure. It's got everything you'd expect from the craziness of Borderlands mixed with the fantasy setting of any D&D player's dream. And while the DLC is fun in its own right, it really tackles a hard to swallow subject. How does someone handle the loss of a loved one? For Tina, it's immortalizing her favorite person into the game and acting like he never died in the first place, and not accepting the truth that this person is truly gone. This was a welcoming twist, and honestly, this felt like the true ending to Borderlands 2. Not to mention, this DLC was so popular, it came out as its own standalone game to prepare for its very own spin-off game, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I cannot wait for. And that's why Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep is my #1 DLC. I'm KrowOfMurder15. Now roll for initiative, suckers!
Time for character sheets, baby!
Hey guys, this is KrowOfMurder15. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell notification to stay up to date with all of the latest videos, and share this with a friend. And if you really want to, make sure to go over to my Twitch page and check out one of my live streams. Thanks for watching, and game on!